Hello, on today class on municipal and industrial wastewater engineering, we'll discuss one more industry, that is cement industry. In cement industry process, we are going to have six phases. Production of cement complete after passing the raw materials from the six phases. These are raw material extraction, that is correct. Second, grinding, proportioning and blending, preheating, clean phase, cooling and final grinding, packing and shipping. These are the six processes involved in manufacturing of cement. First phase is raw material extraction. Cement uses raw materials that covers calcium, silicon, iron and aluminum. Such raw materials are limestone, clay and sand. Limestone for calcium, it is combined with much smaller proportion of sand and clay, where clay and sand support silicon. Iron and aluminum generally, cement plants are fixed where the quarry of limestone is nearby. For the manufacturing of cement, first one is raw materials. It is calcium, silicon, iron and aluminum. For the wet end sources will be limestone, sand and clay, and iron and aluminum. Second phase is nothing but proportionate mixing as well as grinding and blending. Generally, limestone is 80% and remaining 20% is the clay. So major contribution you are going to get by limestone, it is nearly 80%. Rollers crushes the materials into a fine powder and finishes the job. First, you're going to grind it to a fine powder. Raw material is stored in a pre-homogenization piles after grinding the raw mix to a fine powder. And in the phase 3, preheating of raw materials. Preheating chamber consists of a series of vertical cyclone from where the raw materials passes before facing the kiln. Preheating chambers utilizes the emitting hot gases from the kiln, and preheating of raw materials saves the energy and make plant environmental friendly. So here the heated gas again heat used to preheat the materials so that some amount of energy can be minimized. In the fourth phase, the raw materials are heated to 1400 degrees centigrade. At this temperature begins the chemical reaction called decarbonation. So decarbonation means removal of carbon atom at 1450 degree centigrade. Series of chemical reaction between calcium and silicon dioxide compound form the primary constituent of cement, that is calcium silicate. So in the decarbonation process at 1450 degrees centigrade, cement is converted into as a primary compound calcium silicate. This happened by the chemical reactions between calcium and silicon dioxide. When material reaches the lower part of the kiln, it forms the shape of a clinker in a round ball. It will be in a small ball. Then fourth phase is cooling and final grinding. The clinkers are cooled by means of a forced air. Clinker release the absorbed heat and cool down to a lower temperature. Because you're going to heat it at 1450 degrees centigrade, you have to make it to room temperature by absorbing the heat and cool down to normal temperature. The released heat by clinker is reused by recirculating back to the kiln. This is also to save the energy. So you cool it, heating is cooled, the same gas is again recirculated. Again, energy will be minimized. The clinkers reach the rotating drum after cooling. Here, steel balls tumbles and crush the clinker into very fine powder. This fine powder is considered as a cement. So, briefly, we can describe this as limestone and clay blending. Then, in a clean clinker store and cement mills. And last phase is the packing and shipping. We are going to pack it in a plastic bag or in a paper bag depending on the where you are going to dispose, because the cement is going to absorb moisture very fast. Then we'll discuss where are the sources of these wastewaters are coming. Here you're going to cool the cementitious material. For cooling, you have to one is air is the main source. So air has to be cooled by circulating with cooling water. So cooling water, it can be recycled after cooling and it does not contain any harmful materials. And wet scrubbing effluent, wet scrubbing of a clean dust an effluent that has a high pH value, alkalinity, suspended and dissolved solids like sulfate, phosphate, potassium predominates. So these are the sources of wastewater. And wastewater industrial process or treatment of that wastewater. As you know, here no any harmful materials are present here. Only you're going to have increase in pH or changes in pH, suspended and dissolved solids. So in cement industries, water is used only for cooling operation of the manufacturing process. The process wastewater with high pH and suspended solids may be generated in some operation. How we can able to remove suspended solid? By means of physical process is a screening. And for suspended solid reduction done by using settling basin like in sedimentation tank or with some clarifier by adding some of the coagulants, we can able to remove any suspended particles. pH can be changed by adding alkali or an acid to get neutralized. The water treated from the wastewater treatment plant should be green belt development. So here only physical and chemical process is involved in wastewater treatment where the pH has to be neutralized by adding acid or a base. Second, by means of screening, we are going to remove any suspended solid and we go for sedimentation tank where we can able to remove inorganic substance or settleable particles and it can be removed by clarifiers. The clear water can be used for cooling purpose. So here in this way the wastewater treatment from the cement industries are done. Here no any microbiological effluent or any other process is not involved here. That because since it's not having any BOD and COD values. It's going to have only some suspended materials or pH changes. Let us discuss some of the MCQs. Cement making process. Raw materials is heated up to 1450 degrees centigrade. The proper proportion limestone and clay is 80% and 20%. So this figure is what it shows. So it's a combustion chamber or wash mill or clean hot dryer is nothing but a crushed raw materials go to clean, then for grinding. In this way, it will be circulated. The major use of water in the cement plant is for cooling purpose. And ammonia nitrogen discharge from the tea plants is going to have nearly 37 milligram per liter. And the product from the blast furnace is called pig iron. In this class, we discussed some of the process involved in treating industrial wastewater as cement industry has taken. Here, no COD, BOD is there. Here, only company discussed with treated with equalization, pH alkalinity, or suspended solids. Thank you.